Yo, what's good, everyone? Hope you guys are having a good day. Back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Viper on bind, and I'm mainly going to focus on attack. Before I get started, I just want to say thanks again for all the support. I think we're getting really close to 900 subs, which is awesome. And I also appreciate the feedback that some of you guys gave on the potential Discord server that I might be starting. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but I'm gonna set a goal of 1,000 subs. So once we hit 1,000 subs, I'll put together a Discord server. And yeah, so if you guys, if you aren't subscribed already, if you're watching my videos regularly, I really appreciate a subscription or even sharing these videos and my channel with your friends. Really, my aim as a content creator is like just to make the Valorant community a better space. And I know for a lot of you, that is just your experience in ranked. So I'm hoping to kind of improve the in-game knowledge and the util usage and the understanding of agents to make ranked a more enjoyable experience for everybody. And on top of that, I just want to help you guys, right? So yeah, if you don't mind sharing my channel, I would really appreciate it. I appreciate all the likes, all the love already. We've had a lot of growth. I mean, it's only been about a month. We're almost at 1,000 subs, so really happy about that. But yeah, so I'll start this Discord server at around 1,000 subs, and we're closer than you guys think. Well, we should be getting there by the end of the week, I would say. But let me refocus here and get straight into the video. I can talk about what's coming next really quick before I get into it. Actually, I'm gonna put together just 4 bind videos, maybe 5 actually. I'm gonna do Viper attack, Viper defense, Brim attack, Brim defense, and then a bind overview. But yeah, so let's get started on this video, okay? So Viper attack on bind. This role is something that's picked all the time in competitive play, and the meta is pretty defined on it so far. You have really 2 variations of the AWOL. So there's this AWOL paired with this Viper orb. 9 times out of 10, you'll see Viper using. And really, Viper's job is to just create pressure, just like every other map, create pressure by destroying sight lines and taking lurk timings based on the information that's given to you by your teammates throughout the round, okay? So what I mean by that is if your teammates are defaulting B, then maybe they call 3 people at B and you decide that you want to take the timing and lurk up into U-Haul. That is totally fine, very normal on this map. One thing about this map that differs from all the other ones is that there's only 4 choke points. There, when I do my macro videos and I go through and I count the chokes, this is a choke, this is a choke, this is a choke. And what I mean is there's only 4 choke points that lead to another choke point. You know what I mean? It never splits into 2, okay? And then this is another choke point, okay? So naturally, because of that, if we were just talking about the macro of this map real quick, stalling out these chokes on defense makes a ton of sense, right? Don't let people get out the choke. That's why we used to see a lot of Sage on this map. We see a lot of Viper, Brim, Molly stall agents, Raze, good nade, right? It's really important to stall the choke and force people, especially have a good emphasis on util trade. Understanding that if an enemy team dogs or uses 2 of their Brim smokes, bam, we want to just util dump the choke, and we want to make them reset and do something else, right? So with that being said, there's one thing on this map that is unique to all the others, and that's the teleporters, okay? So I want to say something to you guys real quick before I get started on Viper specific stuff, and it's just macro related. Lots of teams will start by defaulting showers or long B, okay? When they go B, it's really common to see somebody focusing on hookah as well. But the reason for this is both the attack side and the defensive side should use the TPs to fight, right? And to rotate, okay? Now the attack should use it more often to rotate and the defense should use it more often to fight. Hopefully that makes sense. You want to see using the TP from long B to shower allows you to do a shower trap. Using the TP from A side to fight to hookah lets you do hookah traps, right? And then using the TP for rotations from B to shower allows you to pull rotations over from A to B, giving you bomb sites with less resistance, right? Which is what you want on a map with small chokes that all are just, individualized. They only lead to one exit point, right? It's not like Lotus where, you go out A and there's 1, 2, 3, right? It's all single chokes, okay? So what does that mean? That means as Viper, if we're solo lurking, our job is to create pressure to keep people from rotating, number one, right? Because we want to go onto bomb sites with suboptimal like stall, right? We want to keep stall agents in certain areas, but also if we understand that there is a timing for us to take a one-on-one versus somebody up U-Haul or out showers, it is worth it, okay? It is going to be worth it for the simple fact that you need to do it on this map. You need to have the confidence to do it, okay? So let's get into Viper specific stuff now. Now that I've brought up macro a little bit, you'll really see two variations of the wall. So this is the most common wall, and the only difference, and then the other wall is like this. And it just cuts and it helps you fight back sight, cuts you haul off. You can cycle it up and down in post plant. Really the difference between these two walls is that this wall right here cannot be seen. Like you can't be on top truck and seen over. It allows you to get closer here to dog from here. You can jump up, you can pop out with it. But it's less useful for post plant, okay? And then you'll see this Viper orb paired with here, okay? Now, you can throw the orb from here, you can throw the orb from here, it really doesn't matter. The only thing that you need to be aware of as Viper is if the side that you're throwing your orb from is any indication of where your team is trying to end in the round, okay? Typically, if you were gonna go B, your Viper would throw the orb from this side because then they're closer to group from the pack, right? They're less likely to get hunted, right? But, so like, another thing, if you're throwing your orb here every single round at the same exact time, teams will pick up on that and they will go to just fight you. They'll just try to fight you sometimes. They'll raise rocket you, they'll push through showers, they'll go for a TP fight and they'll clear you out and they'll try to bully you, right? So you need to understand that like you should be switching up whichever side you're throwing from. Even on rounds where you're going A, you should throw the orb from this side. Rounds where you're going B, you should throw the orb from this side and then just insta-dip, right? But yeah, this is the most common stuff that you'll see for Viper. Now, another thing that you'll see outside of the orbs and the mollies, the orb and the wall, are mollies, start of round mollies. When your team goes showers, you'll see this molly, and I'll show you guys the lineups for all this. You'll see this molly to help with shower control. You'll see this molly sometimes. On A execs, you'll see sometimes this back truck molly. You'll see this back triple molly. Just like all the other maps, you don't want to just resort to post plant with these mollies. You want to use them to take the bomb site, right? You want to make your hits coming out of these chokes as good as possible, because if your team can get out of the choke, the round can get really, really easy for you, okay? Now, the other thing with this molly too, you can throw this as a mid-round molly, because a lot of teams, what they're doing now on defense is they're throwing this Viper orb here, or they're brim smoking it, and they just play to spam. So if this molly can keep them in showers, it helps out a ton, okay? On B, the mollies that you'll be throwing really start of round is you'll throw this sometimes to get long B control. This one's good because it makes it so the enemy team can't jump spot this, but then they also can't peek and break the dog as the dog comes up. So you always want to be giving the dog space. The other thing about this Viper wall over here on A and this orb here is that it allows for your dog to scale up uncontested. Now you will see people peek into this orb here and they'll just spam it, right? So sometimes it's good to come here before your teammate dogs or as they dog, and you just put like 7 or 8 bullets into the smoke, right? And typically people will do it on the tightest angle possible. So you shoot there instead of here, okay? Anyways, your job as Viper, again, is to understand these lineups, be able to throw these mollies to help your team, understand that your job, for the most part, is to hold on to map control at A. So if your teammates go to B, they can safely TP to shower. If your teammates go, if they start A, you can use this molly to assist them, right? And then you're kind of just like having your wall up and down, because you know that when you put your wall up and down, there has to be some type of respect from the enemy team, okay? Now, respect is important for 2 reasons, okay? And I've said this in my other videos. I mean, it's important for a multitude of reasons, but in Valorant, when it comes to these videos, teams have to respect your util. So what do? They'll either rotate they rotate towards it, or they'll trade some type of util for it. So naturally, Viper wins out util trade a lot of the times because you can cycle your wall up and down, up and down, up and down. And they have to respect the fact that you could be going for it. So what do they have to do? They trade a brim smoke. If you can get the brim to trade a brim smoke every time you put your wall and your orb up, that is a W for you, okay? This map can be really, really hard for the defense if they don't have brim smokes for retake, okay? And it also makes it a lot easier for you later in the round to get out of the choke if you don't have to run through a brim smoke that has a molly beneath it, okay? So let's get into server now. I'm going to just go through a lot of these lineups. So let me just restart so I can get the barrier. Show you the wall first. So the wall, really, I just use the map. So I just come here and I want to just make sure that my wall basically touches that corner. So you want it to touch this box and that wall. And this is what it looks like. Let me just... Okay, this is what it looks like. It just cuts this. It allows you to get up close and dog if you want. Somebody playing here feels really pressured. Anybody on top of this cannot see over it and just take fights. They can just kind of spam. And then the orb that you would throw with this, restart again and get barrier. So let me just pair them for you guys. So for this orb, I come here into this corner, pull out my orb, and I'll put in this window, I'll put my white diamond right at the top of that window, and I'll jump throw. Okay? Really, honestly, you want this wall a little bit tighter. Okay? You want it even tighter. So you want it along this line, okay? And you pop these up. So you pop these up together, right? Because now this U-Haul jiggle person cannot jiggle. It puts a lot of pressure on this player. Oftentimes, he will fall back, okay? And he'll play a spot like this. Or he, like I said, they will util trade and use a brim smoke and try to play in front of it or brim molly it or whatever, okay? Now let me show you the other side for the orb. So here I go into this corner and call my orb back. And then here, 1, 2. Put the right side of my orb again, the white diamond, and I just throw. Okay. And then let me show you some Viper mollies. So some easy ones. So like I said, start of round stuff. What you can do is you can kind of throw this wall. You can throw the wall that I have up now. You can say, I'm not going to orb yet. I'm just going to molly showers for my team if they want to go fast showers. And you just you jump on this barrel, and above this leaf, you just aim right above the leaf. And it bounces off the wall here and goes through the window. And it will land here. Anybody swinging here. This is really strong against oppers. It disallows them from the line. Okay, so on this map, on other maps too, we're always talking about these deep lines. If teams can get this deep line on showers, it's really strong, and teams will prioritize jiggling long B, okay? They do this for a lot of reasons. One, lines on the extremities are very strong because they help with rotation, but also there's 2 orbs here, right? 1 and 2. If you can get this line on defense, a lot of times you can farm this orb. Same thing on B. So you'll see a lot of teams sky flash down long B because they want to just snag the orb, right? It also disallows the other team from just abusing teleports, right? What did I say? It was strong for teams to default showers and default long B on attack because they can get the orb, number 1, but 2, they also can pivot through the TPs and beat any rotation that the CT team would have, okay? So that's one molly for you. Again, it's right here. Back truck molly is right here in this corner, and you just aim at this leaf right there. This is really strong with like a brim ult, or you throw this while your raise is ulting up. It can be really, really good. Okay, back triple is, so what I do here with this one is I line myself up with, so to the left of the bricks, right here. And then it's right after you throw your orb, right? So let's say you throw your orb, whatever. I think I needed the orb lineup for this. Hold on. Oh no, it's, sorry. It's right here. My bad. Sorry. Brain fart. Right here. This the diamond above your C for your molly should be it. Okay, so that's back triple. So you could pair, so from this location too, I also have some other stuff. Let me show you
Poison's off.
So you could throw that back triple molly, right? You could go here, and then you could come here. You throw both these mollies at the same time, right? Now teams are like panicking, playing back here. A good Brimble would be solid back here. This is just a really good angle to clear, especially if your team's going up showers quick and they want to go for peaks. You can molly somebody out of this corner and get them to swing right or left. That can be very strong. Let me see if I can get this orb here. So I was doing here. So here's the shower molly. Okay, same spot. Sorry, I'm kind of bouncing around here. So many lineups. So here, the top left of the thing above my molly, I put that right on that orange little rusty part. So like that. And that'll bounce like this, and it'll help you take shower. And then from the same spot, the orb is... The orb is right here. So see these notches on the wall? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this third one up, you put your, above your left click of your orb, you put it in the top of that notch right there. So you go here. You would throw these two together, okay? Now this orb is really cool. It spreads super deep, and it gives a corner for them to stand in here, but they can't see anything, and you will be able to see them. It's pretty strong for that reason, okay? So if you play it like, if you play with like an agent that is super reliant on orbs or super strong to get their ult every single round, throwing this orb instead of this, I think, can benefit you. It puts a lot of pressure. It helps you control showers super easy. You sky flash in, you throw this molly, you can go up quick, you can grab your Euro orb, you can grab your Gecko orb, Raise ult, Brim ult. All of the orbs are pretty good on this map for attack, even Sky. So, you know, throwing this pairing, like the pairing of the molly with the orb there, can be very, very strong, okay? So that's pretty much it for A. Let me think if there's anything else really. I guess one thing that can be good is like, so yeah, when you, this is more of like a pro play thing than it is for ranked and stuff like that, but lots of teams, what they do in the meta is they'll brim smoke here, okay? They'll brim smoke this, and then they will like try to get you to tap the spike, and they will just peek here and spam you because they don't have to worry about deep and U-haul. You'll always see like a brimstone with a phantom here, viper with a phantom or whatever, right? So like they'll smoke this off. So what you can do to help your team sometimes is you just come here and you aim at the top here, and really what I was doing is I'm making it so I'm not peeking. So I'm basically like, you go like this, right? You just make yourself super tight. You just aim there. And this will full spread on triple, okay? So make it a lot easier for your teammates to kind of spray back, counter spray back, okay? You can even throw this with your Viper, with your Raise nade, and it'll make things really easy for you guys, or at least help you get some kills or dissuade people from just playing the smoke spam spots, okay? The last thing that I want to say about A, that refers to when your team is going B, is you should kind of try to, if your team is defaulting long B, you should try to kind of default and hold outside of showers. It's okay to hold in this area and just pivot between these two spots and understand that people might walk on you. You're always going to lose a timing here when you go to repeak this. So sometimes it's good to come and re-clear all the way out. But the reason why you would want to go towards showers and kind of hold this space is because if teams don't have any info, like if they get this deep line early, lots of times if you're defaulting B, they will continue to push through, and you want to give your team the flexibility to go back to A through the teleporter, okay? And so what you do is, like, if you wanted to go take the showers 1v1, you make sure that you pop your gas, your wall, and your orb up while you're doing it, because now you're kind of splitting the attention of these potential shower players, right? Let's say there's 2 people playing for showers. One guy can focus forward now, the other guy has to kind of look like this, right? You might even have to go back triple to kind of hold this side, right? So you always want to think about, okay, can I create a question mark with my wall and my orb? If so, if it helps my lurk or it helps my team, I'm going to do it. Okay, and then the other thing is if your teammates are going hookah or going long, either way on B, popping your orb and your wall up, both of them, while your teammates are defaulting into hookah, will kind of scare teams from like nading through the TP and taking the TP, okay? So think about that. Like if you pressure a little bit short while your team is taking hookah, global presence is the name of the game with Viper, and that's what you want to try to achieve, okay? If you pop your wall up and your orb up while your teammates are going into hookah, they're less likely to receive some type of trap play through the TP with the Raise Nade or Viper Molly or Brim Molly or whatever, right? So that is pretty much it for the A site. Other than that, I mean, there are other things that you can do. I can't remember the lineup for it. I think it's like this. Never mind. I've seen it so many times in scrims. I just randomly remembered it too. Let's try like here. Let's try like in the middle here maybe. Okay. I mean, there's like a little speck here on the wall. You just aim a little right of it. And you can cycle this up in post, okay? So this is kind of a cool one way that you can use, especially if you're low buy, if you're like Stinger or something like that. This is really, really strong. But yeah, that's pretty much it over at A on attack. Let me go to B now. This is the B molly that people throw when teams default up long. So you come here, and then this little plank here, you just aim like right on top of that side of it, and you throw, and that should go through the window here. And this will make it so nobody can swing and break the sky dog. They can't pop flash and swing and fight you while you're running up. And it helps with control, okay? Other than that, really the mollies that you'll see the most on B, lots of teams have lineups for this. I actually think that sometimes it's more important to be able to do these mollies on the fly and on the run, because you want to be able to become a scaler at any point. For the simple fact that the chokes are so small, the counter util is relatively easy, and if you've noticed in your ranked games, if your duelist is just kind of like jumping out alone with one flash, it can be really, really hard. You want to just jump out with 3 people at the same time, 2 to 3, and if you're the person in the back throwing the mollies and able to come up and at least put some suppressive fire down on some of these common angles, that because you might be smoked off here, it can help a lot, okay? So let me go ahead and show you some B stuff now. This is the Viper one way for spawn. I think it's right here. So what you do is you line yourself up here and you aim. So basically even with this part of the tower, in between your right click and your left click, there's an orange dot right there. You just put your thing right there. You throw. And that'll pop like this. This one's really good because one, they can't, you know, you can see them when they cross, but also when they run out, they're out for so long, you know what I mean? Like, so it's super easy to play spots like this and kill them. Let me see. Okay, let me see if I remember this. Oh no, it's here. Sorry, I'm tripping. So here, this little wire or whatever, the left side of your, underneath your armor, the little white line, I just line that up with that side. And that gets in the cubby. I'm telling you, if you learn these molly lineups and you throw these on executes for your team, it's so much easier to take the site. If you clear out this angle for your teammates, if you throw a good molly for backside that spreads, if you can molly the top tube that bleeds into it, right? These are all super solid if you can get this one way down, right? Instead of just not resulting, but, you know, going back and just kind of like defaulting into this orb, right? So there's that molly. Okay, so inside of hookah now, if you want to molly like back sight, the way that I would do it is, so you see these 1, 2, 3, have your teammates take hookah control first, then you just aim right there, and this will full spread and get back here too. Let me show you again. So you're against this back wall, and you just aim at the height of the roof here, in between these two, and you throw like that. And then if you wanted to molly the top, if you wanted to molly top of B site, you just peek a little bit wider, and you aim at the bottom of the kingdom sign, okay? So that will go like this, and that will molly people in the tube as well. It won't get them directly in the middle, so that's one thing you got to worry about. But it's really, really hard for people to kind of like process that in the moment. Obviously, pro players will be able to kind of dodge this and stand in the middle. But, you know, if you throw like a really good raise nade, like, I don't know, off here or even here, you know, it can be really, really easy. You throw both mollies together and you come and you're just ready for them to swing here, okay? So that's really the big things on B, okay? And if you're not running a cipher, like a lot of your job is going to be kind of like throwing these support mollies, but then picking up the flank, and being ready for people to come through the TP, right? So, you know, let's say you do this molly exec for your team, right? You're here. So you go here, and you want to molly back sight, right? You go out, you help your team, you pop your one way, you make sure they get sight, and then now you go and you look back instantly. The job is done. You just go and you refocus, you get to a spot like this, where you can kind of hold an off angle, and then if they come through TP, you're playing close here like this, or you get all the way down or whatever. We understand that like your job is to help with mollies to take the sight, but then it's to stay alive and get multiple use cases of like cycling your one way with your brim smoke, okay? It's all about util chaining on this map, and really on defense more than attack. And I'll get there when I talk about that in the video. But if you can do a good job of chaining your Viper orb and your Viper wall with your brim smokes for stall on defense, and then on attack, if you can do a good job of chaining your, and when I say chaining, that means like the second the brim smoke goes down, you orb up, right? And vice versa. So if you do a good job of that, you can make it really, really hard for teams to retake, right? Because similarly to attack, when teams have to retake, there's not really a lot of options, especially on B. B is super hard, right? For the simple fact that it's this and this, right? Two small, tiny chokes, really solid crossfires from here. People play here. People play in the cubby. It's easy to play, you know, off your teammates here, whatever, right? And then also for the one way and like being able to chain the smokes. Let me think about anything. Let me think if there's anything else really. Viper attack. I think one thing that you can do that's super helpful for you is try to track people's reactions early on in the half to you putting your wall and your orb up paired together, right? See what they do, because when you end up going to take the lurk timing, like for example, if you wall up and you orb up at like let's say like 15 seconds into the round, right? And you see that they instantly put a brim smoke down, the next time I want you to orb up and wall up instantly. And I want to see if this brim will smoke sooner, because if the brim will smoke sooner, that means that we want to win. We want to bait out utility from the other team as soon as possible when we're on attack, because it makes the rounds easier for us later on, right? So if this guy's going to use a brim smoke every time I put my orb and my wall up down, you know what I mean? I'm going to cycle it up and down as soon as I can every single round, because I want to see if he does that. If they go through and they use, like, let's say they're playing Fade and they use a Prowler or their Fade Eye whenever I put my wall up, like, try to track what teams are doing. If teams are doing nothing, right? Like if teams have no reaction to what you're doing, there's two possibilities, right? One, they can be in front of your util, or two, they just don't think that you're going to go and they're just playing far behind it. So what could you call in that case? It's all about understanding what teams' reactions are to your util, and then figuring out a play that you can call for your team to exploit that, right? So if let's just say I was playing in a match and I was throwing my orb and my wall, and enemy team was not doing any counter util to trade this, right? I would tell my team, yo, Sky, can you go default towards hookah, right?
Here.
We do like a sky flash, maybe Sky peeks and gets pinged by the sky flash long, right? So which seems like there's at least two people at long, right? Sky's hookah, and Sky can even dog this while 4 of us walk up short with my wall, right? Because if teams have success doing something in a previous round, they're more likely to do it again, okay? So if a team, like if we haven't abused the A lurk on somebody yet, you know, the Brimstone or whoever is responsible for playing U-Haul is likely going to take that same approach because he didn't need to smoke it last time. Why would he smoke it this time? You know what I mean? There's obviously a chance that they randomly might do something different, but just from a psychological standpoint, you can make a reasonable assumption that teams will keep things the same until you figure out a way to exploit that, right? So, like I said, we do this fake B default with Sky solo, and then we triple or quad walk up. You could even send Sky and Raze. 3 people walk up into U-Haul, wall up. So like the wall is here, right? Just to give you guys a visual representation of what it would look like. Let me grab my orb back. So Sky is going over here, dogging, maybe Raze is with him, doing a Roomba, and then me plus 3 people, I wall up and orb up, and then we get to this point, we get in the orb, I get here, and we drop 2 people, and we're all, like, one person's looking here, one person's looking here, and then this middle person is, like, in the middle, ready to flick to either, right? And then now we're at this point in the round where we can kind of take this U-Haul timing, right? So it's really important to understand how people are responding to the util that you're throwing up and down, right? And then feed that to your IGL, because it can, like I said, it's super hard on this map because of the nature of the chokes to really get out of them on good timing without solid counter util. So if you can kind of understand how teams are responding to your utility, you can kind of find ways out of the choke by contacting out. Anyways, I think that's it for today. There are definitely other things, but I think from a like a fundamental standpoint, a good starting point, this is the main thing. These are like the main things that I would cover, really. If you guys have any questions or you know, want to see other Viper related stuff on Bind, or just I guess if you have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments. And again, like I said, thank you so much for all the support, guys. Really appreciate it. At 1,000 subs, we're almost at 1,000 subs, and at 1,000 subs, I'm gonna go ahead and put together that Discord community server. I don't know exactly what it'll look like, but I'll try to have like screenshots of all the lineups in there. And I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can do some more private coaching with you guys, if that's something that you guys are interested at a relatively affordable price. Obviously, there's been some drama in the coaching scene as of late. And yeah, you go ahead and look at that gun buddy if you guys want.
Hesitation is commensurate to negligence.
That's episode 1. Episode 2. Whatever. Anyways, I'm being cringe. I haven't been Radiant in a while, but I'm very confident in my understanding of the game, and I know I can help you guys. So if you guys are looking for private coaching, definitely hit me up. But I think we'll kind of get more into that once the Discord gets going. So yeah, at 1,000 subs, I'll get into that. So I would appreciate it if you guys shared my channel with your friends that play this game. Really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.